So what's it like here now working for
And
professional?
this place is awesome. Like I've said before, man, we grew up as Auburn fans. So getting a chance to come here and actually be a part of it and work and help add to this great tradition, man. I had to keep pinching myself every so often that I'm really here doing it.
Yeah.
Why now?
You could have come last year,
Right.
There we go.
and you
Same kind of
decided not to. What was different this time?
I think just the timing was right for me. I got a chance to really, in my mind, complete my mission there at Ole Miss, so to speak. And it basically became an offer and an opportunity to say, you know what, if you want to have a chance to go and coordinate, you want to have a chance to go and branch out a little bit, the time is now to do it compared to then.
Yeah, what was the last piece of the puzzle for you? Like you said, there's a little bit more you wanted to do there. What was it?
Basically, as a coach, you get guys you recruited. You got some guys you want to see their career finish up. See some guys sometimes, but besides the football playing, you see them maturing off the field. You want to be able to see that done, and we had a good team coming back too. And you just want to see the completion a little bit more of it. That was part of it anyway, but. And then just getting a chance to, if you ever talk to Coach Freeze like I have, he's a great recruiter too. So all that came into factor into play, and obviously I'm a believer, so I prayed on it. Me and my wife talked about it, and thought it was better this time around for me to come on.
It seemed like it came almost like a Twitter meme because Lane would keep tweeting pictures of you, like, "Oh, he's here," and it was just, was it uncomfortable at all, or was it just kind of like Lane being Lane?
It's just Coach Kiffin being Coach Kiffin. So I was with him 4 years, and so I totally understand where he's coming from, and he was just doing everything he could to keep his program as strong as possible.
All right, cool.
Were you shocked? Were you shocked by kind of the way the announcement came about? I don't know if you saw that on Twitter.
No, again, being with Coach Kiffin, like I've been with him and know him, is not a shock at all.
I see that guy in real life, like kind of a jokester.
He's serious a ton of the time, but you can get him some lighter moments. But he's been really good to me my 4 years while I was there, and so I wouldn't change it.
Did you feel like you're in between, like a fight between him and Hugh? Because they both wanted you, and they both.
Well, not a fight per se. It really came down to me personally. To me, what I thought was really best for me in my career. And, man, I had a lot of great times there at Ole Miss. Been there for nearly 2 decades, 16 years, and a lot of great players. They're responsible for me having success, and a lot of great people in that community there. So it wasn't anything I took lightly. It was just basically boiled down to me and saying, you know what, if you want to have a chance to go move up, why not go do what Coach Freeze, guy you're already familiar with, a guy that you already know what the expectations are, a guy that you know what kind of culture's already set, a guy that believes in you. Why not go now?
What is it about Coach Freeze that makes him a good guy to work with?
I think number one, he's a believer. I'm a believer too, and I think he tried to set the culture that way first. I think number two, that he makes it family first around here. It's a family atmosphere. I know my wife, I know my kids can be around. I know what type of temperature is set. I guess that's probably what stuck in my mind. I think he's a guy that you can go to and talk to, good or bad. He's heard them both. And I think he has high expectations on and off the field on how you carry yourself, how we prepare to go win, how we prepare these guys for life. And that's really mirrors up to how I think as well.
Coach, coming in, to fill the shoes of somebody who's so beloved by this university, a guy that you played high school football with in Cadillac, how do you balance, trying to honor that but doing things your way too?
First, I try to do a great job understanding I can only be me. Carnell obviously was a heck of a football player. He's done a great job as a coach in a short time already. The thing I had to look at myself and say, hey, I can't be Carnell Williams, but I can be the very best version of Derrick Nix, and come in and go back to my foundational beliefs as a person, number one, number two, as a coach, and try to do a great job of implementing that with our coaching staff, number one, and back down to our players.
And have you guys, did he reach out after you took the job?
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Me and him talked the year before when this was coming up, and obviously we talked since the change after this past season. He wished me luck, and I wished him luck on his endeavors, and so it's been good.
You still have a relationship with Lane, with Coach Kiffin?
I do. I actually saw him. We had spring break, and we went back to worship service at church and saw him, and still had a cordial conversation.
Cool.
Coach, you took your daughter, I think, to the basketball game, right? And you talked a little bit about just being this family atmosphere. Did she say anything about that moment and being in a new place for the first time?
Yeah, I was actually trying to win her over because she's been born in Oxford, Mississippi, so all she has known is red and blue and Ole Miss, and learning to live and die with those games on the weekends and going to camps and all that. And so it's one of my deals. I said, hey, I'm going to get announced during the game. Want to walk out there with me. And so I was trying to get her to, to feel it, being in Auburn and everything like that. But it'll be something she hadn't talked about yet, but I know she will in the future.
How old is she?
She's 7. She's 7.
She'll be all right.
She'll be all right. Yeah, she'll be all right.
All right, Derrick, I know you're only about halfway through spring practice, but what are you seeing so far from the offense? What are your feelings about what you've got to work with?
I'm going to tell you, but even before we started practice, I felt like I saw a group of guys that were hungry, a group of guys that were eager. They were ready to roll up their sleeves and go to work. I'm going in there watching them in strength and conditioning, and nobody complains. They say bark out the instructions of what they got to do, and I just saw guys working. And so far through our, couple of weeks of practice, man, I just see guys trying to strain and trying to buy in and do it the way we want to do it right now. And my main focus right now as a group, is just, being a fundamentally efficient scoring machine. And what does that mean? Doing a great job of taking care of the football, learning how to play with great energy, play with great effort, making sure that we got, with great note takers in the meeting room, doing a great job of making sure that with the small details we get those down. And to me, if we can learn how to play hard, if we can learn how to play with juice and effort, when we step between those white lines, I think all the other things will fall in place. So that's kind of been the emphasis so far.
This obviously is a different day in your game in college football. How has that impacted what you do as a coach? All the NIL and the ability of people just to walk out the door anytime they get ready and go somewhere else?
It's required us to constantly be able to adjust, to constantly eval your roster, constantly, do a great job of recruiting, making sure we, make really, really educated decisions on who the guys we end up signing. You're always looking ahead. We got to have a great staff in our recruiting department that does a great job of helping us, seeing guys that are available and just keeping us up to speed with our roster compared to what we need going on in the future.
Do you have to talk to your players differently now than maybe when you were playing?
I don't know if you had to talk to them any differently. I think you have to be more aware. I think there's more one-on-one meetings. I think there's a lot more one-on-one time that you have to account for now compared to back then.
Is it part of making them feel like they're getting individual instruction from you?
I think individual instruction, and is letting them know too that, even though you still have to recruit, our main focus of the guys we have here and making sure they get every ounce of attention that we can give them to make them the very best person and player that they can be.
Do you sometimes think you just came on 20 years too early?
For the NIL, definitely. For the NIL, definitely. My old college coach, Jeff Bauer, joked with me. He said, D, if this NIL would have been around, you probably wouldn't have been a Golden Eagle.
You've gone from one program, Ole Miss is almost all portal. Lane Kiffin loves the portal. Now you're working for a guy who loves high school recruiting and doesn't really looks at the portal a little skeptically.
Right.
Has that been a big adjustment for you?
It has been. And one of my welcome, but you're right, two really different approaches. I think at Ole Miss we still would try to go after the top high school kid, but understood if there was another guy in the portal that maybe the margin for error for making mistakes may be a little less. You've seen them go against top competition already. They may be a little bit more mature compared to here. Still going after the top guys in high school, and looking at what Coach Freeze and the staff did last year, they did a great job of landing those guys. So I think it's two different philosophies. It is a little bit different, but I think both work.
Coach, when talking about the timing of accepting this job, what made it this time like the right time?
Yeah, talking about that earlier, I think always I'm a believer. I think it was a God thing, and I think it was just the right timing for me and my family. I got a chance in my mind to kind of accomplish and finish the things I want to do there at Ole Miss. And if you know Coach Freeze like I know him, he's a great recruiter too. And just thought the time was right.
What's as an offensive coordinator with a head coach who is definitely going to be involved, to go into a situation like that when you know Hugh and how he operates, did that make it a little easier for you to?
It definitely did. I welcomed it because obviously I'm in a position where I'm learning on the run as we go, and it's been very fun for me to be able to do that. But to be with not only Coach Freeze, but being with Ken Austin, the guy I work with that's coordinated at a high level, a guy that's been a head coach. Even one of our analysts, Maurice Harris, he's been a coordinator. I just looked at it and I'm saying, well, I got Coach Freeze here, I got Ken Austin here, I got Maurice here. Man, I got all kind of help around me to help develop me to be the very best I can be. Guys I can lean on for opinions and figure out the best way to get things done.
Look, Ken has a reputation of being a really top-notch quarterback coach. You've worked with him before, and now you work with him here. What is it that makes him special?
First of all, probably Ken also got an IQ out of this world. He's very smart and intelligent, but with that intelligence, he does a great job being able to break it down so our players can understand it. He just sees the game differently. I think he's really great with seeing coverages, and really he's been a guy, since '08 that I've known. He's had success everywhere with offenses.
I mean, he played football at a very high level.
He did.
And he was really good. Do you think that
really
matters? Do you think that's a big part of why he's so good?
I'm sure it helps. I know it's been a lot of time coaches who haven't even played the game have had a lot of success, but with him being on that high of a level, having the success he did, I know it's got to be a big help for him.
Is he humble about it? I mean, does
He
he
is.
know how good he was?
He is. Kent rarely ever talks about his playing career. Rarely ever. So he is a humble guy, and to me, he's been here to help. He's one of the guys I kind of reached out to before I took this job, and just kind of pick his brain and see what he thought was. And man, he was all about and excited, and so again, that made me a little bit easier to go take the job.
Have you talked with Hugh or Coach Freeze about how it's going to work in the fall, about calling plays and who's running the scripts and all that kind of stuff?
Right now you're looking at the guy right now, and to me, I think it's done collectively by the staff, and we're going to do whatever to give us the best chance to go win.
Coach, what do you want Auburn fans to know about your offensive approach this year?
Yes, sir. Just 11 guys on the field. They're going to play extremely hard. We're going to be fun to watch. We're going to play fast. We're going to be fearless. We're going to be physical. We're going to emphasize taking care of the ball. I want these guys, continue to strain to finish and just do whatever it takes to go get a W on Saturdays.
From your perspective, what are you best at in recruiting? Is it a particular position? Is it an area of the country? What do you think you bring on that part?
Besides the position or area, I think when I get a chance to get one-on-one with kids, when they get a chance to see my heart, they get a chance to see what I'm about, not only just the football, but their spiritual life, their academic life, their personal life. I think kids and parents get a chance to gravitate to that because I think that's mostly what they all want, and that's naturally who I am. I think in recruiting, I just get a chance to be me, and I'm not a great guy just over the phone, not just a great guy, just doing a FaceTime, but we get a chance to get one-on-one and talk. They get a chance to interact with me. They get a chance to watch practice. They get a chance to see how I interact with my guys and what I demand. That is what I think I bring to the table as a recruiter.
Do you think of yourself as a closer? A guy can go out and finish one off?
I've been known to be able to get that done.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to pat myself on the back and say I can do that. I think the times that we sign, or I've been a part of signing the top guys in the country, is because it's been done with a collective group, where it be a great head coach that can recruit, whether it be that third guy, whether it be that off the field guy, whether it be the other position coach, when we've got it surrounded. And our best selling point has always been our players. You know, when they can go in there and talk to some of the guys that's actually been in that foxhole with us, seeing how these coaches respond after a win, see how these coaches respond after a loss, see how these coaches respond during the week. You know, do these coaches just treat us like employees where we only see them between the hours of, work time, or are they at our house or around our families? I think our players are our biggest sales pitch.